Okay, so we've got a problem here dealing with similar triangles. And you could tell the problem is dealing with similar triangles by looking at the notation they give in the problem. So here they tell us triangle, right? This is a symbol for triangle, KJM is similar to triangle OPR, right? So what does that mean? Well, when two triangles are similar, all the corresponding angles are equivalent, right? That means all the angles in the same relative position. So it looks like angle K here corresponds to angle O, and you could tell because those letters in the same position in the order that they write the triangles usually indicates they are corresponding. J right here corresponds to P, right? And they're right in the same order, so there they are again. And M corresponds to R, right? So we have those angles, we know they must be equal. And also the side lengths are proportional, so although they might not be the same length, right, the ratio between them is equivalent. So in this problem, they give us measurements for the angles as expressions. They tell us that this angle K is 1/2 y degrees, and they write like that. And for J, they tell us it's x plus 10, right, degrees. And for M over here, they tell us it's 0.3z minus 10 degrees. Right, so these are the measurements for each of those angles. And the corresponding angles over here are 60 and 40. And they want to know what is the value of x plus y plus z over 2. Let me fix that 2 because my 2 looks like a z. Okay, so first of all, x plus y plus z over 2, that's the same thing as what? Well, we're dividing x and y and z by 2, so it's just the half of x and half of y and half of z, right? So as we come back to this, we're just going to find the values of x, y, z, find half of them and add them up. So some of this, is a little confusing because I'm not telling you everything you need to know immediately. But again, they want to see if you understand the idea of a similar triangle. So we know J, this angle right here, right, is in the same relative location, the lower left corner, of these two triangles. And it's not always going to be oriented the same way. However, here it looks like everything's set up nicely for us so that the corresponding angles are actually in the same spot. And they're equal. So that just means that what? Well, x plus 10, that's angle J, must equal 60. So what does x equal? Well, we solve for x, we subtract 10 on both sides. That's 50, and x is 50 degrees. So x plus 2 up here is 50 divided by 2, or 25 degrees. Next we have, let's do angle M over here with R. And that's the same scenario. We have 3z minus 10 equals 40. We add 10 to both sides, right? We're balancing the equation. And 3z equals 50. So what does that mean? Well, z equals 50 divided by 3, right? Divide both sides by 3. And what does that equal? Well, 3 goes into 50 how many times? Well, I know that 3 times 10 is 30. And I know that there's 6 more 3's in 48. So it's, in other words, 16 full times. And 16 times 3 is 48, so the remainder of 2. So it's 16 and 2/3. That's the value of C. But again, we're cutting that in half. So I would actually write that back as an improper fraction. It'll be easier. So 50 over 3, right, divided by 2. Dividing by 2 is the same as multiplying by 1/2. So that's 50 over 6. Now 6 goes into 50 8 full times before going over it, right? 6 times 8 equals 48. So there's a remainder of 2. So we have 8 remainder 2, or 2/6, which is 1/3. So 8 and 1/3. So z divided by 2 is 8 and 1/3. Okay. And then last but not least, y. So they don't tell us this last angle, the corresponding angle, but what do we know about a triangle? Triangles have to add up to 180 degrees. So this angle equals 180 minus 60 minus 40, right? In other words, what's left in the triangle after we take 60 and 40 away? Taking 60 and 40 away, that's the same thing as taking 100 away from 180. So 180 minus 100, and that equals 80 degrees. So this angle is just 80 degrees. And our last, the last part of this is that we have 1/2 y, so 1/2 y equals 80 degrees. So a half of what equals 80? Well, a half of 160. So y equals 160. Now 160, don't be overwhelmed by this. That's not the measure of the angle over here. It's just the measure of the value of y, right? So the angle here is 80 degrees, just as it is here as well. In fact, this angle over here is 60, just like the corresponding angle is 60. And this one's 40, just as the corresponding angle is 40. So y equals 160, but half of y is just going to equal 80. So that's pretty much it. We want to add these up now. That's 105, right, plus 8 1/3. So I don't know how we, it depends how they want the answer here, but 105 plus 8 is 113 1/3 as a mixed number. All right, hope this helped.